One of the best aspects about WRTI is how easy it is to use. So looking at the website, westerntraining.org, anyone can access it either at home or from one of the centers. Let's take a look. Once you get to the website, westerntraining.org, there are two login options, one for new users, one for existing users. New users are added by an administrator. They go into the system, they add users. A new user would log in under the new user registration, put in their email. The system will either recognize their email and allow them to log in or not recognize them and restrict the access. For existing users, they're adding their email and their password. If someone forgets their password, the administrator at the center can access that for them and reset the password. And because I'm an existing user, I'm going to start off at the menu page. If I were a new user, I would have some pre-tests on some of the topic areas. As an administrator, I have an administrative page I can log on to. And so if I want to add a user, I'm just going to type in their email address here. Click on add a user, and that way when the person tries to log on to the site will recognize them as a user and allow them to go on. I can also, as an administrator, reset the password in case someone has lost their password, deactivate a user if someone's no longer affiliated with a center, and also look at certificates. So in this case, this user has completed the session 1 on history and philosophy. The user can print this out for their own files, and then the centers have a copy as well for their files. The internal operating procedures, all of the instructions for anyone, for any of the centers, and also any of the handouts for the sessions. People want to print them and save copies, they can do that as well. So really easy to use. Looking at session 1. History. Before I am permitted to complete the session, I have to take a pretest. And so I'm looking at the history section, and the history session was actually the most used session this year. So some people will complete all 16 sessions to complete the certification process. Other centers will just have people use 1 or 2 of the sessions or maybe more. And then in addition, you may have board members that are just refreshing their certifications as well. So going through, just going to randomly choose answers here. So again, very easy to use. Submitting. Now in this case, because I have already completed this section, is going to allow me to go on to the video. If I were a new user, I could go back over and review that. So I'd go into the video section. So looking at the first session, this is an introduction to the history session. As you can see with this particular session, there aren't any handouts. If there were, I could click here to get the handouts for the session. We have it set up so that the user does have to watch the entire video before they can take the post-tests. And since I've already gone through this session and completed my certification, I can stop this anytime. So I'm going to return to the menu, go back to the session, and at the point that I finished the video, I would go to the post-test, which isn't showing up here because I've already completed it. So you see post-test completed, so I'm able to access my certificate. And again, I can print that off, return it to either of the centers that I'm affiliated with, and go back to the menu, choose another session, or finish there. That's really it. So very easy to use. When I'm finished with my session, I'm going to log out, and that is the end of my session. Right, we're back on the main menu, and I could either choose another session at this point, but I'm pressed for time, so I'm going to conclude my session, come back and finish at another time. So I'm simply going to log out, and our session is completed. So as you can see, the website is really easy to use, which was what we were going for. Feedback that we've gotten back so far has been very positive. So we found the website to be user-friendly, fairly intuitive, and really lets people spend the time on what they should be doing, and that's going back to the centers and helping victims.